Hello everyone. In this module, we will see that students coming from countries like India, China, Nepal, Nigeria, and many other countries actually, how they are gaming the education system here. A lot of them actually, since they're able to pay more, so they are able to get into very reputed universities, and then there are these placement agencies. There is like a big industry uh, called educational consultants, which are helping these students all along the way, from providing fake transcripts, writing fake letters of recommendation, fake personal essays, and many other ways, even helping them with SAT exams. So let's start. This article I found from Reuters. It says that how an industry helps Chinese students cheat their way into and through US colleges, and how much they charge. Sometimes even they basically students can pay these consultancies, and they can take exams on their behalf, writing essays, research papers, everything actually. Another stat we found that even though currently China might be the the number one source of international students at US universities, but the percentage growth of Indian students was higher, and it's possible that the the number of Indian students will surpass Chinese students numbers at US universities. Along in the same article we found that um, like 8,000 students in 2000, I think 15, they were expelled, or we'll look at that uh, article very soon, and then what their nationalities were. So here you go. That's a South China Morning Post article that how this industry is helping Chinese students cheat their way and into through US universities. Um, these are, these articles were published after some investigation, how these students were basically gaming the system, and you can, read more online. I don't need to spend too much time here, but if you Google this, you will find plenty of information and websites talking about this issue, that how these placement agencies, how much they charge, and they communicate on your behalf, on students' behalf, basically to the university, their professors. So it's everything, fake. Um, this is going along. I copied and pasted from the same article, and then it talks about, according to one of the consultancy, that 90% of the letters of recommendation for Chinese students were fake, 70% of the application essays were not written by the students themselves. And then this fraud was noticed not only from applicants from China, but many other countries. Then it says 8,000 Chinese students in US expelled for low grades, academic dishonesty, breaking rule. Um, we'll get into that. That how in certain countries, like in India, if a student is going to private school, he doesn't even need to go to school. He can actually go to a tutor and pay school money. School will give him the diploma certificate. They'll just go there and take final exam maybe, but they can be continuously studying for these standardized exams, because that's how these universities, they look at the scores in the standardized exams, and they make decision. They don't need to do any extracurricular work, any sports, games, activity, volunteer work, or and learn many other things which American students they have to do when they're in high school. Um, and this talks about that they're giving one stat at University of Iowa. They didn't have enough application screeners, because a lot of these, transcripts, if they're fake, then you need to hire more application screeners. And this article I found on Wall Street Journal, which talks about that the ratio of cheating from of international students versus domestic student was 5 to 1. Same thing, as earlier article from South China Morning Post, 8,000 Chinese students in US expelled for low grades, academic dishonesty, breaking rule. And this is, I think this number is every year. The number 8,000 students they're talking about is in 2015 alone. Yep. Okay. And then these are, articles about where they talk about how these consulting companies, how much they charge, which help students find a spot at reputed universities, and the fees are based on like tier level, upper tier, higher fee, lower tier, lower fee. So these are some of the former graduates of UCLA actually that created this company, Transcend Company, which provides mentoring and counseling services, and it's pretty much everything, all writing fake letters of recommendation, personal statement, forging the transcripts, helping them with SATs, sending 10 different, people to take SAT, and only job is to note down the questions, and when they come out they tell the actual kid who is going to take the SAT, and there you go. That's a big help. And then this talks about that at University of Davis, there was a battle going on between two consulting companies, and one of them actually tipped the university. University didn't catch, about this the ring of bogus application, but it was tipped by a like a rival educational consulting company. Um, then it talks about the draft of you know more any. It's actually that I think it's from the same article, South China Morning Post. Um, that how they forged the letter of recommendations, but you guys can go and read more about it. My idea through these videos is basically just to show the what's the problem out there. Same article, how much the students pay, and then somebody actually is paying this consulting company UI International actually to do their homework and take exam on their behalf. Maybe these are online classes. See, that's the problem with our American system. It's based on honor system, and we leave all these loopholes because when international students are coming here, they are not, their primary job is, the primary goal actually is not to go along with the system. What they are doing is they are finding out a way how they can settle here, um, get the degree, get a job, OPT, work permit, any other way. So, and we don't have whatever someone actually puts on the paper, we take it to be true, and that's the weakness in our system, and that's what they exploit. And then this is there is a international some kind of council of where these universities all around the world they participated in a second annual International Day of Action Against Contract Cheating, and what is fraud and corruption in education, how is it exist from the counterfeiting of academic documents as well as bribery to ensure the licensing of academic institutions, hiring of academic staff, the passing of examination. This is actually very interesting. You can read more about it online. Um, and we'll look at some of the websites where you can actually buy degrees, foreign degrees, and they look very genuine. Um, Another thing is that, in international countries like India, we don't have a very good accreditation process. Universities are in India or China, they are open by businessmen, and the goal is basically they don't care if a student life gets ruined or not. It's just to provide them a diploma. He's coming to school or not. That's all. It's like a money making. And